Precedent. Okay. Yes. Your event starting. Are we live?
Yeah.
We are live. Holy crap! Imagine that. So, welcome to Mining for Spirits. On this episode, we're going to recap a little bit of Gettysburg, some cool experiences, and what we have in this bag. It's not lunch. It's not a stool sample.
Why the hell would you stick a stool sample in a paper bag?
Because you wouldn't want anybody to see it, because it's gross. Stick in a paper bag.
You can
And
tell you
it's
have
not.
too much time
It's
on your
not
hands.
like it's not dog poo either. I'm not going to set this on somebody's porch and light it on fire.
Okay.
But regardless, we are going to recap our Gettysburg trip, right? Which we went to Gettysburg again. And I'll just keep talking as you mess with that.
Sorry.
Well, I didn't know you were trying to log in.
I don't understand why it wasn't working.
You had the wrong address in.
I guess.
Oh well. We have a new setup, so if you're having trouble with the sound, let us know. I got my video camera mic hooked up, so it should be a lot closer, a lot clearer, and a lot louder than the other one. So if it's not working, give us a shout out about that, and I'll try and figure out what's going on there. So, are you ready?
I'm fine now, yes.
Yes. You ready to talk?
Sure.
What are we going to talk about?
We said about the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash and the experiences we had the Friday night.
Right. Well, I wasn't over with you guys that.
No,
when
but
you
we
had
had
that.
experiences ourselves.
Well, yeah. You're right. But anytime you go there, you're going to have something, typically. With us,
Why don't you tell them about the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash first?
we're going to talk about the Battlefield Bash first.
Yeah, and then we'll go into the cool things.
Okay. What, the Battlefield Bash wasn't a cool thing?
Well, yeah, it was a cool thing, but the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash was August 4th through 6th, and it was my birthday weekend, so we went and volunteered our time for the benefit for the Wounded Warrior Project. They're having another one next year, so if you didn't make it this year, try to make it for next year. It was a great time. We got to meet a lot of awesome people, and we networked with other people, and it was a good time.
That's right. I don't really mean to name drop, but we may have met a guy named Mark Nesbitt.
Yeah, his glasses seem like they're coming apart.
They are, actually, and I can't find my screwdriver to fix it. So.
Anyway, yeah, we met Mark Nesbitt himself, the one who's the author of the Gettysburg Ghost, and he also has a candlelight walking tour. And he was just a very down-to-earth guy and very nice.
He's a very nice guy, which is fantastic. It's what you would hope for. And he is basically
the one who started the Gettysburg Ghost stuff.
He's like the founding father of the Ghost of Gettysburg thing. Before us, before the Ghost Exchange, before all of the other tours that go on, it was him.
Yeah.
And he's very cool.
Very knowledgeable.
To talk to.
He used to be a park ranger and licensed battlefield guide, and now he is the famous author of Gettysburg. But he said he didn't like being a park ranger, so.
Yeah, I'm sure he likes being an author a lot more.
And his wife Carol was very nice too, and very down to earth and welcoming.
Right.
So we look forward to seeing them again.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see him next year and maybe catch up with him in between then. That'd be cool. So, the bash it was a good time. It wasn't really paranormal related. It was more for the wounded warriors, and there was bands and karaoke, and that was interesting.
Karaoke and
And
Jaffa Salt and Pepper.
yes, we got to see a
Um,
member of the clergy dancing to Salt and Pepper. Very interesting.
it's salt and pepper. It's
Salt
not
and
pepper.
Pepper, like Peppa Pig.
Yeah,
No?
sure. I've never heard somebody describe it like that, so sure.
Well, there's no
But
ER, it's an A.
we got to we got to volunteer with a lot of other cool people that we've got to know over the weekend, and that is now part of our family.
Absolutely. There's a lot we knew, and then we've met a lot more this time around. And a lot of great people. A lot of them are in the paranormal. And it's just. I actually met, was it Mike King from the Ghost
Ghost of
of
Shepherdstown.
Shepherdstown.
He was the sheriff
Yep,
in Ghost
he's
of
the chef.
Shepherds.
He's the sheriff, and he's a real nice, down-to-earth, friendly guy. Gladly take as many pictures as you want with you, pretty much. And interesting to talk to.
And there was a Dustin guy there, Dustin Perry. I think his name
He's
was.
from Ghost Hunters.
He was on one of the episodes or one of the season of Ghost Hunters. But it must not have been a season we watched because I don't remember seeing him.
We don't watch a lot of the
No,
shows.
we're not into the paranormal shows so much.
A lot of them are, I don't know. It's the way they conduct the investigations and everything is pretty true to life in many ways, but a lot of the evidence is kind of for TV, for show. It is what it is. But that is essentially the ghost, not the ghost, the Battlefield Bash.
The Battlefield Bash.
A
We
lot of
look
cool
forward
people.
to next year.
I don't know. Did they say how much money they were able to raise?
Yes,
Did
they
they give
did.
a number on that?
It was 4,000 and something, I believe.
Gonna find out. That's an interesting picture. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but this was Pam and Steve Barry that put all of this together, and did a great job on it.
Kendra did a great job.
Kendra did a great job on it. She was pretty much running the show there, and helping with whatever needed done, organizing everything. But it was great. There was a big helicopter there. I can't think of what type it was. I'm not really an
I
expert
think
in
it
that.
was from the Marines.
It
in World War
was
II or
Vietnam. Yeah, it was from
The-
the Vietnam War, and it was a Marine helicopter. But I'm saying there's a specific kind.
I know.
That I don't know. I'm not up on that. But there were some reenactors there as well.
Not to change the subject, but if you ever get the time to go to Gettysburg, go. And more importantly, if you ever get to purchase prints of photography from Mason Dixon Photography, look them up because you need to see his work. It is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, takes a lot of really great. He does landscape shots for the most part, and they're just amazing. He can do stuff with that camera that I haven't figured out how to do yet. So
It never fails, diesel things.
you might not be able to hear that bell on this new setup.
I can't find it, so.
Well, we can't find it. Dang it. I don't remember seeing a number. I just thought
I
it
know it
been...
was 4,000 and something.
Well, that's worth us being there for a couple days to help raise $4,000 for the troops.
And we got to hang out with Stu from History and Haunts.
Yes. And that actually, Stu from History and Haunts, kind of brings us to our story about our experience at Gettysburg. Do you want to go into that?
Yeah, but I want to find this, but they must have took it down or something.
Oh, darn.
What was your favorite memory from the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash?
From the Bash? Huh. Probably Jeff rocking Bon Jovi. Actually, not the Salt and Pepper, but him rocking Bon Jovi's "You Give Love a Bad Name."
He definitely
He
sang it good.
killed it.
You know my favorite part, well, it wasn't the favorite part of the Bash, but my favorite part of karaoke was when I thought that guy was going to destroy AC/DC, and he killed it.
Yeah.
He freaking rocked it so good.
He made that song. He did that song justice. I'll give him a lot of credit. I don't remember. He was from a Paranormal team, and I don't remember what his name was.
I don't either, but I remember looking at Sheila and Glenda and saying, man, this guy is going to destroy this song. Nobody could ever do AC/DC.
Anytime.
Well, he made me a liar because he rocked that song.
I would be willing to say 99.9% of the time you see somebody put in AC/DC for karaoke, it's going to be a tragedy. So, this was just freaking awesome. And it was good. But that was a good part of that was more of the aftermath of when all the vendors went. And it was kind of like the after party, you know. So
that was us just like relaxing after a busy day.
Yeah, but it was part of the actual bash, though. They had a couple trophies they gave out, and that girl that won could sing really well. And didn't Jeff take second? I think Jeff took second.
Yeah, and then Sheila took third.
Sweet.
Even though they announced it wrong, I think.
Did they? I don't know. I wasn't there for that.
I don't know.
I must have been in the bathroom.
But anyways, let's go back to Stu and Friday night. We actually got to the Battlefield Bash after the first round of karaoke was over, so everybody was kind of just hanging out, and we were getting ready for Saturday because Saturday was the biggest day, but we ended up going out with a couple of our friends to one of the bridges there. And we were in a lightning storm.
Yeah, that was interesting. It was a lightning storm under trees on a bridge made out of metal that goes over top of water.
Yeah.
We didn't get struck.
Thankfully.
But yeah.
I'll let you say the first thing, and then, because you weren't down with me and Kendra.
Right. This bridge,
gone, so.
This bridge actually is close to Sachs Bridge. You might hear us talk about Sachs Bridge quite a bit. It's just down the road from it. And there's a walkway that goes over the bridge, and I think that walkway just disappears into the woods. I think does it go the whole way through?
It goes somewhere to Sachs Bridge.
I think it does, but you can't get cars in there. It's blocked off for just foot traffic. But we were on the bridge, you and I, by ourselves, and everybody else was kind of down in the woods. They had one of those Connect, I don't even know what you call them. It's like the tablet with the Connect on it, and it maps out figures. And they were using that down there, and we were just kind of chilling on the bridge, and I really felt like I was drawn to the bridge for some reason, as opposed to going in the, I had no interest in going in the woods for some reason. But we were standing still on the bridge, and you could feel it vibrating.
Like somebody was walking over the bridge, but we weren't even moving.
It was like the wood underneath you, because it's metal, but the base is wood, and it was like the wooden planks were almost vibrating underneath.
And then we heard something sound like it smacked off the bottom of it, like something or someone was putting their hand up to it and
just knocking on the bottom of the.
And the water was very low. There was nothing under it that could have been making that noise. And it would just feel like somebody was jumping up and down on the bridge. It was crazy.
It was nice. It was interesting, to say the least.
And
And
Kendra saw shadows by you when you were standing
yeah,
on the
she
other
saw a
side.
shadow walk in front of me and go across the bridge. I think that's kind of what drew them over the bridge because it went in that direction.
Right.
But Stuart and them were already over the bridge in the woods. And
Yeah.
the Connect did show a figure
Hanging from the
on the
bridge.
bridge. Yeah, not like hanging by the neck, but like hanging like on it. Not like by a noose or anything.
Well, no, don't show a noose, but
I know that, but
people
like,
have hung themselves there.
you know, is that historically proven?
Well, that's what Stu said.
Well, he's the history guy.
So I'm guessing so.
Well, he would know more than I would.
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
So anyway, I walked down with Kendra and we held hands to let our energies flow through each other. And she was picking up on a man, and I don't know, we start walking a little bit further down, and all of a sudden we both heard something, and we look at each other, and she goes, "Did you hear that?" And I said, "Yes, it sounded like a gun cocking back." And she looked at me, she goes, "Exactly." Well, we found out that there was an abusive alcoholic who was going through some stuff with his wife, and his wife didn't want him back, so he actually went there and shot himself. And I think since Kendra and I didn't scare, and he couldn't, intimidate us, it was like he was playing it all over again.
Very possible. I'm wondering if that would be like a residual or like an intelligent haunting.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, because that's interesting. Why you would choose to go there, I don't know. But we have Kendra and Mike in the chat. What's up?
Hello, Kendra. I was just telling them our story from the bridge.
That's right.
But no sooner did we kind of get ourselves in the little story I just told you started downpouring.
The rain was, but the electricity in the air, I would imagine, would bring out
I
a
think
little more.
I think it's more active when there is a lightning storm from the electricity. What do you think, Kendra and Mike? Do you think it's more active? Kendra said she remembers that night being really charged. And it was, because
Literally.
even Kendra, when we first got there, was standing on the bridge, and she said about try to tune into my abilities, because I was kind of ignoring everything because of so many people being there at the time. And she heard a girl, what was it, screaming?
She heard a girl breathing in, like
gasping for air, that's right, or she was scared. Right. She couldn't remember if she drowned or if she was scared. She couldn't make out the difference. Yes. So it was a active night for sure. There was girls who were there who weren't part of our group, and they were terrified, and they came with this guy and girl, and it's like, why would you bring these scared girls to a place that's active because you're just asking for bad things?
Well, I don't know. People think it's
just game, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. Think this
Gasping.
is a game?
Kendra said that the sound she heard was a woman gasping.
Yeah, like a
yeah.
Right. I remember. I remember, and I was the one that was supposedly drunk. But I'm the one that remembered.
Don't ever go ghost hunting drunk. It was a joke. It was an inside joke. He wasn't really drunk.
I know.
She was joking.
I know. But yeah, Well, I mean, and the girls got out of there after that, which is the best thing in that situation. Because anything like that would be potentially negative, you don't want to feed into that
Mm-mm.
with fear. That's not, so if you're in a situation where you're feeling uncomfortable, you're feeling scared like that,
Don't go.
you need to follow your,
Gut,
yeah,
your instinct.
and
If
just,
you're afraid and you don't want to be part of it, don't do it. Don't
mhm.
force yourself, and don't have somebody force you. Sit in the car.
There's no shame.
Kendra said you were drunk the next night.
I never denied that.
And Kendra, I think we did end up protecting the girls. I was trying to explain to them how our abilities work together when we were holding hands, but it was just very intense. I've never witnessed my abilities and abilities together like that. It was like we popped.
It's a connection.
Yeah.
It's like when you're giving a jump start to a car battery.
Yeah.
They combine.
Yeah.
They charge each other.
And I trust Kendra completely. Like, if I were to go out at night and I needed one person, she'd be the person. I'd be like, well, yeah, let's go out and investigate.
Yep. So you gotta drive up here.
What?
She gotta drive up here.
Why?
I don't know, so we can investigate.
Kendra, you have to come here so we can investigate. Yes, we did amplify each other. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty much the best way to put it.
Yeah. I couldn't think of the word. Can you guys hear us all right, too? Eric's trying a new setup here.
I'm guessing they can hear us because she's responding to her. I'm just saying.
This is going to be the Eric show pretty directly. Instead of the Mining for Spirits.
Screw it. It's my birthday. It's my show. I can act like an idiot all I want today. But, unfortunately, Pam and Steve came, and they brought a bunch of rain and thunder and lightning with them.
It was
and
thundering. Why isn't your keyboard working?
I don't know, because you screwed it up.
I'm trying to message you back, and it's just not working.
I really don't know either. Let me try this. Darn it. Let's see if this works.
There you go.
Yep, that'll work.
Kendra said, happy birthday, Eric.
Thanks. I responded to you on Facebook anyway.
I love the look she gave you. Oh, wait.
Who?
She must be talking to me.
What? Who gave you a look?
I gave you a look.
Oh.
Apparently he's still drunk, Kendra. He's getting old now, so he can barely understand anything. That's the problem.
Yeah. I'm getting close to retirement at this point.
But I look forward to you coming up next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. But, that was... And I think we have some stuff in the works for next year at the bridge, or do we? I know we have stuff planned for Jenny Wade. No.
Jenny Wade's this year.
Again.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to be at the orphanage, though.
And next year, but...
Next year.
And hopefully Kendra will join us for the orphanage next year.
We'll see, huh?
Kendra, you can join us.
Join me. Shall you? That's Adam the Woo. I'm stealing his catchphrase. But yeah, it's I lost my train of thought.
Why don't you show them the new
Old
gadget
age.
we got?
What's in here?
Yeah, I filled it with dog poop.
It's white. White dog poop in there.
It's black.
Ha! What is this, by the way?
It is a micro red pod.
Micro red pod.
Though it's bigger than the mini red pod.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, that's because it's micro, not mini.
Micro is smaller than mini.
This is made by Paratronics, and you see it's got a big antenna. It's not for picking up radio stations. It's for sensing activity around it, touch. And there's 4 lights here that will go off. And I believe the lights are for the intensity, correct? The more the lights go. But I'll turn it on real quick here. Hear that? That's us on. And it goes nuts when you are around it. The yellow light might not show up very well on the camera, but it's there, I promise. And it also has a nice music mode.
This is why we don't let
This
him
is-
use the equipment very often.
This would be good for kids, because kids like the tone, you know?
I like it better than the mini red pod because of this being up here.
But yeah, as you can see, if this thing goes off and nobody's near it, it's a good indicator of something, because I'm very close to it and it's not really doing much. I have to get very close to it for it to...
Why don't you move
Detect
the back
anything.
out of the way?
Oh, I'm sorry. So this is a great indicator for if there is activity around. We had the mini red pod we were using at a private home,
Mm-hmm.
and we were upstairs. It was on the stairs by itself, and it would just go off. And at one point, the door in the bedroom you guys were in opened up,
Mm-hmm.
and
It was
shortly
like-
after it went
Yeah,
off.
the
So-
door opened and it was like it went out of the room and it was going downstairs.
Yeah.
And I remember you guys were investigating and I was downstairs eating because it was our break time and I was eating because I haven't ate all day. And the mini red pod was going off on the steps. And as soon as I said, please just let me eat and I will come communicate with you after, it stopped.
I'm on my lunch break.
Yeah. But it stopped after that, so we've had a lot of luck with that.
Well, I wouldn't say. The thing is, though, there's a lot of locations where we haven't had any activity on this.
Well, no, but that just means that the activity
But-
we did have
Right.
was actually something there.
So yeah, there's definitely something going on.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't really something I don't think that gets set off falsely by like electronic.
I think you
know.
have to go by this.
Yeah, it's pretty much a touch sensor almost. You gotta be hovering right over it.
Which we're gonna use that in November.
I have to double check if it senses static electricity.
I think it is static.
Because even like I don't have to be actually touching it for it to go off, but if I'm close.
Kendra, do you remember if the minis are? I think they're static electricity for those.
If they're static, then they're very similar to a periscope, but they're more sensitive, it seems. So maybe it's not static. I don't know. It's still new. We rarely got to use one of these, although we had one at the Jenny Wade house for the one tour we went on with Pam and Steve, and Kendra was doing that one as well, and that was upstairs. We had some interesting conversation with a Mrs. McLean, I believe it was.
Yeah, because
And,
Mrs. McClellan was,
Right. And
Georgia.
at one point there was, I think, 4 or 5 of us guys in the room. I think it was 5, because I had just stepped in, and Kendra asked if they could make it go off as many times to count the number of guys in the room, and it did. It went off 5 times, and it quit. So that was a very...
Static. Thank you, Kendra. That's what I thought. Static. You're right.
So I was right. Yeah, I thought so. But yeah, it's a really cool device.
It's one of my favorite. I usually ask for that when we go places.
Well, it's nice because you can say,
Go to this color or this color.
right, and it not only that, if you're not in the room watching it, it does make noise, so it can get your attention that way. So that is a nice device that we have, and that's made by Paratronics. Is who makes these. You can always check out the Ghost Exchange,
Yeah.
GettysburgGhostExchange.com. If you want to buy one, that's where we got ours.
Or go to the Gettysburg Ghost Exchange.
You can always make the trip there.
Yeah.
I would call ahead because they're not in stock very often because they sell out quick.
Yeah. They have other equipment too. Lots of cool equipment. Tascam, sorry, not Tascam. Tascam, Paratronics, Paranologies is a very good one that we recommend as well.
Yes.
And other odds and ends there. Reiki, spiritual
some
stuff.
cool decorative stuff. You can get coffee.
Daily Grounds coffee, yes.
Good. But yeah, that's what I had in the bag. Cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah.
So, as far as equipment goes, what's next?
DVR system.
A DVR. So we're gonna get a DVR system. That would be nice to have. Some
That's
kind of
a
nice
nice
wireless setup. Some night vision.
Maybe IR lights.
Probably cost a couple $100, but be worth it. You know, and I think I'd like to have one by the time we go back to Prospect Place.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Because that is such a big
Kendra,
area.
we got a Prospect Place. You can be my roommate.
Yeah. Is she coming? Or she has to check schedule?
She's hoping.
Let's keep fingers crossed, yeah?
Yeah.
Because it's a cool freaking place.
I hope they have some more stuff restored just so we could see the changes.
Yes. Hopefully they get on it.
They will. New people took over it, so we're good.
Get on it.
Coffee.
Push it. Push it. Is that how I said it? Coffee.
He sounds English.
They don't drink coffee. They drink tea.
Yeah.
A spot of tea.
All right.
Yeah. So, we're halfway through our hour of power.
Yes. So anyway, let's go back to Gettysburg this weekend.
Back to Gettysburg.
Sorry we're all over the place.
We don't have a plan.
No, not this week.
We're
it was just kind of a, let's just talk about whatever kind of day.
Pretty much. Because she asked me, she says, do you want to do a show? Because it's her birthday. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to work. So let's do a show too. Screw it.
We took off last week, or last show. So this is our first show back. I do too. But last show we had to skip it. So.
Skip it.
My cousin Aaron leaves for college on Sunday. I'm kind of heartbroken because he's our other buddy for doing stuff.
Yes. My fondest memory of Aaron ghost hunting is when he cranked his head at the Jenny Wade house.
My favorite is when Kendra came up the back stairs and came around the corner and he screamed.
Oh my god, yeah. She scared the crap out of him. He didn't know there was another set of steps on the Jenny Wade house. So when she come up from the opposite side, he was like a little girl.
Yeah.
Screaming like a girl.
Well, I don't think he really screamed. He was like, "Oh Jesus, she scared me."
He may have, yeah. He probably came close to wetting his pants.
That was also the investigation, though, that we caught a face in the mirror.
That is right. Caught a face in the mirror, and it was just a split second on the cell phone shot. But it looked like from like here up.
It looked like
one
Mrs.
of the people
Wade.
in the picture. But there was no way for that picture to reflect into the mirror because that picture was beside the mirror.
Yeah.
So it's not
Kendra
like
said that was funny.
It was.
Yeah. 6'5" and screaming like a girl.
He's that tall.
Mhm. 6'4".
No wonder he cracked his head off to see.
Maybe 6'4".
He's tall.
He is tall.
Once you hit a certain height, you're just tall.
But Kendra, do you remember that picture I showed you of the face in the mirror from the video? That was
That
one
was
of my
good.
favorite pieces of evidence that we
Really good.
captured. I look forward to going back on Halloween weekend. We have a investigation tour going in, of course, with Kendra, and I look forward to seeing what goes on this time. No more bad stuff like last time.
No bad stuff. We're going to keep it kosher. It's our anniversary weekend. Have a good weekend.
Yes. Battlefield.
And
horseback riding on the battlefield.
there's always a lot of energy in Gettysburg over Halloween. Always a lot of goofballs running around too, but the town is super active because we were there last year, right?
I think the last 2 years we've been in Gettysburg for Halloween.
Definitely last year.
Yeah, where the streets were ass to elbows.
Yeah.
And we were sitting up on the
not,
balcony like, hi!
It's not the best time to ghost hunt in the town or the battlefield, but the Jenny Wade's a little different because it's private.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't, if you're really into it, I wouldn't recommend doing it over Halloween, to be honest.
The veil is thin. The veil.
The veil.
The veal. I'm thinking of baby cows.
Baby
That's
cows.
not good. The veil is thin. Yes, it is. We won't be there on actually the Halloween day, but we'll be there Halloween weekend.
Yeah, Halloween's during the week, right?
Yeah. We were going to do Halloween, but we decided to just do the weekend, and then you just take Tuesday off and us do whatever.
Yes.
So, I'm really excited to see what happens Halloween weekend, and of course we'll let you know how that goes. I think Gettysburg Ghost Exchange is actually having a party. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kendra, but I believe they're having a party on Halloween.
Yeah, it's either on Halloween or on the weekend. Weren't they discussing which would be
but
better?
I believe it's Halloween day or evening, obviously. But we won't be there, unfortunately.
Won't be there.
Now, if it was Halloween weekend, I'd be there.
That's, I think, the nearest thing we have coming up, right?
Mm-hmm. And then
Halloween.
after that, then is the inn. And then after that is the inn again, but it's a private, very private one. It is basically if I invite you, then, you know.
Right. Right. And then
April's the Haunted Orphanage, which is sold out already.
That's...
I just mentioned Gettysburg to certain people, and it's like, nope, sold.
Yeah, and it's great to have that kind of support from people where, you know, there's just certain people you message out and say, hey, we're doing this in, you know, April, you want to go? And they go and they invite a couple of their friends, and then before you know it, we have, because I mean, we don't do this stuff to get rich, you know, because we could always pack the place with tons of people and make, you know, a ton of money off of it, but really we just, the ticket price basically covers the cost that goes to the company that manages the building, and then our cost for travel and stuff. I mean, that's pretty much all we're after, because, you know, the more we can gather evidence, the more we can get from there, you know, it's worth it.
Yeah, and we actually have a new, how would you say that?
I don't even know where you're coming from. We have a new... Well, we're going to be collaborating with somebody else down there, Stu. I didn't know if that was set in stone yet. Well, nothing's set in stone as far as date, but we do want to work with Stu. He runs History and Haunts down in Gettysburg.
Yeah.
And the reason I really like what he does is because I always think it's so important to learn the history of areas. And he combines the ghost hunting with the history, and it's a full experience.
And obviously, when Kendra and I didn't know why we were hearing a gun cock, and then him later on telling us that there is just, you know, that validates for Kendra and I what we heard.
Right. It's
And why
especially
Kendra picked up on that man is because he didn't like females.
those are the best experiences. You have something strange happen to you, and then to have like a validation historically, um, those are the coolest experiences. That beats any strange knock or any strange light that you might see.
That's like my favorite thing is going on investigations, not knowing anything about the building, and when I pick up on something, Eric knows the history, so he validates it for me. So it's like, wow.
I just kind of laugh because I think it's cool. I'm like, ha, cool. That's absolutely right.
He's been getting used to stuff more and more now, so
I still do it.
I know. I know.
It's better than me being like, yeah, whatever, you got it. So what?
If you ever acted like that, I'd be like, seriously,
Like, big
what is
deal.
with you?
Big deal. You did it again. The only crappy thing about Kendra and them doing Facebook Live, by the way, for the show, is when Steve hooks his Tascam mini studio up to it, you can't hear anything that he. If he could have a way to rig it for both, it would be awesome.
We need to get one of those Tascam things.
Those
for...
Tascam mini studios are really freaking cool, but it's not. And actually, I think Steve's price on the Tascam mini studios
is the best.
Is the best. It even beats Amazon, I do believe, which is hard to do. But I would also need the microphones and everything to go with it, so it's probably 300 or so total investment.
We'll be coming for that after we get our DVR system.
But yeah, it's oh, he did rig it. Oh.
The keyboard keeps going out on me, so
I'd say it's an issue with YouTube more so than the keyboard.
He had his speaker that he used for karaoke. Oh, nice.
That is nice.
What are you doing?
So I'm just verifying this keyboard works.
Okay.
It does.
So it's just this.
You can try popping it out again, seeing if that fixes it.
How you pop it out?
Hit the 3 buttons and then pop out.
Ah.
Rock out with your pop out.
Uh-oh.
It'll load. Don't worry. We're having some YouTube chat difficulties. Sorry. It's one of them things, but you know, we probably got what, 10 minutes left?
Yeah, just about
15 minutes left.
But we're going to talk about the upcoming show too before.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, because that one's not all over the place like this one. We just decided to wing it today.
It was pretty much like an hour before the show. I said, hey, we should talk about this during the show. And she says, yeah, I know. I already know that. That's what we're doing. I said, okay. I think this is, I don't know. It's not like we ever have a script or a set schedule for our shows to begin with, but this one's like way out in left field. But that was, you know, pretty much what we wanted to cover, wasn't it?
Yeah. Happy birthday!
Thanks.
He's getting old.
Yes.
29
but I
do look forward to working with a lot of the people that we met this weekend, networking and, um, helping out other ghost tours while we're down there.
Yeah, and one of the things,
And of course, always supporting the Gettysburg Ghost Exchange.
yeah, that is important. It was nice because a lot of the paranormal community come together. It wasn't just paranormal, but there was a lot of the community come together to help out with this. In fact, most of the volunteers were from the paranormal community.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. And a lot of them threw in some items to auction. There was a lot of cool items. There was a guitar that Warrant signed that was up for
Mason
sale.
Dixon photography, beautiful work.
Yeah, he put a lot of pictures there, a lot of prints.
We donated a wine basket.
Yeah.
There was a doll that Kendra, did you win that doll that you wanted? It was like a moose or a bull or something.
I think it was a bull.
Kind of remind me of Bullwinkle. There was cool things.
Yeah, there was a really nice camera.
You
signed
got
by
a
Aaron Goodwin, which I wouldn't even care if it wasn't signed. It was a really nice camera.
Yeah. And then for the 50-50 raffle, you won us a patriotic picture frame
It wasn't.
set.
Well, it wasn't a 50-50. It was a door prize.
Or door prize, yeah. So.
She says she did. Congratulations.
Woohoo! He can be part of the show in December with us.
Yeah, if we remember, we gotta have that thing on here.
Yeah.
Give it a name.
Yeah.
You have to give it a name. If
Did you name it?
Naming dolls. You always are supposed to give dolls names,
I have
right?
to. Speaking of dolls, the dolls that I've gotten from Ohio, I still need to paint them
They're
up.
still in the trunk.
I know.
People probably think I'm weird. I open up my trunk to put stuff in it, and it's like.
I think we'll work on that this weekend. Boris is in the living room. I love that name.
Wasn't a
Boris was on the Munsters.
Wasn't Boris on Rocky and Bullwinkle too? Wasn't he the bad guy?
I never watched that, so I don't know.
Maybe not. You never watched Rocky and Bullwinkle?
No. He shakes his head at me, but he doesn't watch movies with me. Like, he'll fall asleep or he'll be doing something else.
It's the same concept.
But I like the name.
Popeye.
Popeye the Sailor Man. I get it.
Yeah, but you thought it was a movie, which it was, but it was a cartoon first.
Okay.
Wimpy and his hamburgers. Man, did he like hamburgers.
Yes, he was there. Or yes, he was. Okay, so Boris was on the Bullwinkle.
Yeah, because they were like these really... I don't know, it was a man and a woman.
Kendra, where are you at next? I can advertise it for you.
That's it. They were like Russian.
I'm trying to think. Is your next thing the Farnsworth House Paracon?
They're having a Paracon at the Farnsworth House?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I didn't realize the Farnsworth House was big enough. Is it like an outdoor thing?
I'd imagine.
That would be cool because that's like right in town. You know, I think that would gain a lot of wandering eyes if it was outside. People would see that and be like, wow, that's neat.
This is their first annual Paracon, September 23rd from 10 to 4.
And the Farnsworth House is the ones hosting that?
Yeah, hosted by the Farnsworth House.
Huh.
Yes, so Kendra will be at the Farnsworth House on September 23rd. The vendors will be outside, and she will be selling her pendulums, which I can't wait to get mine from her.
Are those the pendulums that are made with actual
nails from the orphanage? Yes.
Yeah, those are really cool.
Yes. I want mine done a certain way, but if she can't get it to go that way, it's okay. But she'll be doing ghost presentations and there'll be the house tours, and that's awesome.
That is awesome. I didn't know about that.
That's the weekend after we'll be in Gettysburg.
Yeah, we always miss a lot of stuff in Gettysburg.
But we can't do that anyway because the kids will be with us. Because they are doing something. The weekend will be there, but it's at that mansion, and we got Cadence and Brayden with us, so.
No kids at the ghost hunts.
No, we were told the rules. We're not allowed taking them on
No
ghost
hunts.
hunts.
Just the history stuff.
Yeah, which is okay because I think Brayden would poop his pants anyway.
I don't know that he would sit still long enough to get anything.
No. But I will miss you too, Kendra. But just think, I'll see you next month though before you go down to the mansion and do that thing.
Doing that thing.
But we have 9 minutes left of the show, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about our next show, which is not going to be all over the place. We have my mom on our next show. She'll be our special guest. We're going to talk about what it was like to grow up with a child with abilities, what it's still like today, the most memorable thing I guess she's encountered with me, and all kinds of other things that she has to talk about. So it may be an hour, it may be 2 hours. We don't generally.
We don't have a time limit. We can go forever.
Yeah.
Well, I think YouTube limits it to 3 hours. We can go for 3 hours. So there.
It won't be 3 hours, I promise.
And Jason's on. What's up, Jace?
Hey, Jason. But I look forward to upcoming events. I look forward to seeing my Gettysburg family because I miss them when I'm not there.
Yes. And I look forward to stopping at Mr. Ed's again on the way back home.
No. Before, remember? We have to do it before now. So I'm not stuffing my face with fudge so I don't cheat the next day.
That guy's fudge is like phenomenal.
Yeah, so if you have time, stop at Mr. Ed's Elephant Emporium. They have all kinds of candy.
You can't miss it.
There's elephants everywhere. Fudge. They have a ton of fudge. And it's just...
Oh, yeah, there's like 20 kinds of fudge at one point in time.
Their chocolate mint tastes just
when
like
we go
Andy's
back
candy.
again, they're going to have fall stuff.
Oh, yeah, maple fudge.
I'm getting fat just thinking about it. Holy crap. But anyway, we're not here to talk about fudge. We're here to talk about ghosts.
Yeah. I'm also going to put a video up of Halloween hauls, I think. I'm going to do a couple of those. Just because it's our favorite holiday. It deals with paranormal stuff.
It'll be... The Halloween haul will be like her at the store saying, I want this, this, and this, and me just pulling out my wallet like... No.
I just spent like $25 at the dollar store the other day.
Yeah, I'm like, everything's $1 there. What the hell did you buy?
Everything that was on the Halloween decoration thing, I bought it.
A couple of
Kendra, tell them you can't not overdo.
You're supposed to like chunk it, like buy some Halloween stuff this year, then next year, and like when it goes on sale after Halloween, buy some stuff,
and then we get witches' hats to do in here and hang.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing crafty things too.
Crafty things. We are eventually, if I ever get time, I'll get that Prospect Place video up.
Yeah, we're gonna do our investigation videos too. Start doing them. I am gonna start planning next year's schedule for our video or our show. This year is pretty much all booked now.
Yeah, and we've talked about it for a while. We've talked about
you look so serious.
What? We've talked about getting people via like Google Hangouts.
Yeah. So
we can do interviews over webcam. They don't have to necessarily be here for it. So if you know anybody that would be a good suggestion to try and get a hold of, let us know.
Yes, and if you want to come hang out with us and do the show, you're more welcome to. You have a place to crash.
Yeah. Usually
and we can go do stuff. Yeah, and we usually get food for whoever comes here. We have a mic right in
Does
front
that
of our
mic come out
face.
quiet?
Kendra said we sounded good. See, Kendra, yes, she buys all year long.
Well, yeah, you probably get better rates in the off season then for stuff.
Yeah.
Now's the worst time to buy.
At the dollar store, you can't go wrong at the dollar store.
Yeah, prices are high at the dollar store.
Oh man, I can't wait to see what other Halloween stuff I can get my hands on this year. But I do want to try and make some Halloween stuff this year, maybe for the yard. We don't really have a lot outside, it's more inside.
That's true.
I think we'll do
It
a
is
graveyard
inside.
out front. Yeah, a graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Graveyard. But like some of that stuff's easy because like when we were kids, we used to just take old ratty clothes and fill them with leaves and stuff and make like dummies out of
We
it.
can do that.
And I mean that was easy.
You have a bunch of clothes that you pick apart, so
you can even go to Goodwill and just get like we used to get like flannel shirts and stuff and make like a scarecrow out of it.
oh, well, we did stop at the Goodwill a couple months back. It was
They
probably like
have Halloween stuff.
It was probably like March. And I was actually looking for dolls to paint and sell, but we found these salt and pepper shakers that were little ghosties and they were cute. And a little pumpkin tin thing that was very vintage. So look for those videos. We're going to do Halloween hauls. We're going to do investigation videos up eventually. We're working on them. Upcoming shows for Mining for Spirits will be, the next one will be August 25th.
That's right. We got your mom.
Yes, Mom will be here. September 8th it'll be an off show because we have a wedding. Then September 22nd we have a special guest coming, but I can't say who yet. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for tuning in for Mining for Spirits. We will be back August 25th. Let me double check that. Yes, yeah, August 25th. And we actually have a show planned out where we're not all over the place like we were tonight because we just kind of threw it together last minute. Happy birthday to Eric. Thank you for everybody for tuning in and talking to us in the chat room. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, let us know. If there's a certain topic you want us to cover, let us know. It's going to be a good time.
Yes, and don't just ask to be a guest so you can get free pizza. We really want to talk about some ghost stuff.
Damn it, it's dawning again.
Oh well, either way, probably froze altogether. Screw it.
No, it didn't. Maybe it did.
It'll load. Maybe. But yeah, that is the show.
Oh, look. Now it all pops up.
Yep.
Okay, so thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, and remember, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed
Jason said good night and happy birthday.
Oh, thanks, Jason. Good night. But yes, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. You will get notifications to your cell phone if you have the YouTube app or on your computer.
Yeah.
And it'll let you know when we go live. You can watch it right from the phone.
Yes.
It's a great
and
setup.
I promise our videos for Mining for Spirit from now on won't be all over the place.
I can't promise that.
I can. I can.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody. Yeah, hit that.
See ya.